All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another one for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, and of course for the Walking Dead Rick movie, which we're likely going to see next year. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on the symbol and the connections between what we're seeing in Season 5 of Fear and where Rick is. Alright, starting to get my voice back. It's almost there, maybe 80%, 90%. It's almost back, right? You can tell from the alright. It's a little shaky at the end, but it's close. I miss my voice, man. It's been like a week. I haven't been able to speak properly. So good stuff. So this one basically, spoiler warning for both Fear the Walking Dead and I guess kind of, sort of, not really for the movie, because we have no idea what the hell they're going to do, but they have kind of been alluding to a connection between Fear the Walking Dead and the movies. And it is the symbol that Althea sees in the Season 5 premiere of the three circles that are crossing over. And, like a lot of people thinking that this one has got to be the Commonwealth. Now, we did a Where is Rick video. It's right now in the channel. If you guys haven't seen it yet, just click the channel name, Trev's Channel 2 below. It'll take you to the channel. You can go ahead and see the video, Where is Rick, where I give all my thoughts up to current date on where Rick is. Now, I did say in that video that I didn't think that Rick would be at the Commonwealth because I thought that if Rick did not return in 6 years, or during that time skip that was in Season 9 of The Walking Dead, then he must be being held somewhere against his will. So it's possible that maybe we could see a different version. If this is the Commonwealth, if that's what we're seeing, it's possible we could be seeing a different type of version of the Commonwealth from what we saw in the comics. Because in the comics, the Commonwealth have mostly been a group of, I want to say, good people type of characters. Or at least, I won't spoil anything because some of them are kind of, you get a mix, but they're not a group of antagonists. They're not a group right away where you meet the Commonwealth and they're going to go after you like the governor or Negan and they're going to kill one of you right away, or they're going to kill all of you and take all your... They're not that type of group. The Commonwealth is not like that in the comic version. Now, in the TV series version, I mean, keeping someone against their will, not allowing them to leave, which is, most likely for us we'll probably see with Rick, but, you never know for sure, right? It's not confirmed either. But I'm thinking that, if the Commonwealth has different groups, then, and you have kind of like, if you look at the circles, the way they kind of intersect. So you have, the way I kind of think of it based on the symbol here, you have, this is on the helicopter when Rick is leaving in Season 9. Same symbol as Althea sees in Season 5 of Fear. You have ones, but keep in mind, the part in Fear is before the time skip, right? So it's more closer to where things were at after All Out War and probably around the Season 9 premiere type of time frame, or a little bit earlier even. You have the interlocking circles, the circles that go together. So it kind of feels to me like, is that a symbol for the Commonwealth? I actually kind of think that probably makes sense. That probably is, because you have different circles which would represent the different communities, and then you have a Commonwealth. So you have the coming together of different communities. So you have the circles, so you have these different circle spots, like 3, for example. And then you have the Commonwealth, which is an overarching group where all of them come together, right? So they're all independent, but then they're joined together, which is what, when I look at the symbol, is the way I kind of think of it, is you have these 3 different circles, but they're crossing over, so they're coming together. So maybe as part of the Commonwealth, we see a mix. So maybe Georgie's group will be part of the Commonwealth, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be kind of a good group as part of it, but maybe there's some other groups that are part of the Commonwealth that are not necessarily good guys. So that could be in the middle, like the ones that have whoever tased Althea at the end of episode 1, the premiere of Season 5. We'll see who that is in Fear pretty soon, probably. But it's possible that we see one section of the Commonwealth there, and then there's other sections as well, too, that are crossing over a part of a larger group, but like smaller groups that join together to be part of a bigger one, and possibly some of them being good, while other parts of those groups, other group identities, maybe not being so good. So sort of like if eventually Fear the Walking Dead ever joins up with the original Walking Dead group way in the future or something, they'd be separate groups, but then if they kind of trade between them and they help each other out together, it's kind of like they're part of a bigger group. That's what I'm thinking when I see that symbol. and when I think of the Commonwealth as a whole. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that one. That's kind of where I'm at right now with it. Is I'm kind of thinking like, either there's factions of the Commonwealth that maybe like certain groups that are not really good people, or maybe the Commonwealth as a whole is kind of a group of antagonists, a mix. Maybe not all good or all bad, maybe somewhere in the middle, right? KCF said the symbol at the end of the episode with the different maps is a direct link to Rick's storyline. Yeah, it would be, but in the past, right? Compared to where we're at right now. And of course, the movies have got to take place during that time skip, I think, too. So it's going to be the timeline will be a little bit tricky, won't it? Because you'll have Fear at one time, you'll have The Walking Dead Season 10, which is way in the future, and then you'll have Rick in the movies, which is somewhere during that time skip time, and where Fear places in with that, we'll have to see. So it could be some kind of origin or something they're showing us in Fear right now that is like a precursor to what we see as a part of a different section of the Commonwealth, like the helicopter community, which could be a different spot somewhere else that could be closely, another group, like somewhat overlapping, somewhat related to this group that we're seeing now. Or maybe it's the same one and he just happens to be close to Texas there, wherever they're at when the plane crashed, which is, I don't know if they exactly said exactly where that was. I'm not sure. Mark M said, the maps that Al found had the symbol that was on the side of the helicopter that airlifted Rick. So yep, that's true. And people did also mention that they have, the certain uniforms they have on. They're not really the same as in the comics, where they have like kind of stormtrooper outfits. They're all black for the TV series version in Fear so far, and I actually think they're kind of cool, right? But they don't look like, when you see all the black like that everywhere, it kind of looks like a group of villains. It doesn't really look like a group of good guys. You see white colors, right, and that makes you think of good. You see black suits, and it makes you think of evil or bad. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? So, and then maybe gas masks and stuff like this, possibly to deal with radiation and stuff like that they may be, close to or have to deal with some of these groups. What said, Trev, you're looking like we got some questions for you and comments for today's Q&A. So all in all, just let me know what you guys think about the Commonwealth, the symbol being somewhat similar or the same, and, how that's going to affect the movies. What are your predictions for how that whole thing kind of comes together? That's the best I can do right now based on what we have at this time. What said, Trev, you're looking like the dead warmed over. It's true. I have been, man. I have been for sure. Definitely. Levi Strauss says, you the man, Trev. You look like shit, though. It's true. I try to make it anyway, with you guys. I took off, some days that I just, there's no way I could make a video during this certain days. I was just so absolutely just done. I couldn't, but happy to get back at it with you guys, and love doing this with you guys, and hope you didn't miss me too much last week, right? Randy Barnett says, Z Nation never died, it turned into Fear the Walking Dead, right? They have Walker tornadoes and now radioactive zombies. All they need is Doc. Z-Weed, anybody? So yeah, it's probably safe to say, I'd say it's almost impossible that the new showrunners for Fear, they've got to be fans of Z Nation. I mean, they have to be. If you try to tell me that they've never seen Z Nation, I'm going to be like, what? Obviously. And if not, their ideas just happen to be exactly the same as a lot of the stuff we saw in Z Nation. So, but personally, right now, I'm not feeling like it's too bad. Even the filters, because Z Nation always use these hardcore filters, and even last season they used kind of a certain gray filters and stuff that really made it feel like Z Nation. Now, maybe not quite as much this season, but even still, it feels kind of dark sometimes, like it's got some kind of filter on it. At least that's my perspective. Mark Wilson says, I love Fear the Walking Dead more than The Walking Dead. This is the best show. So there are some people that do like Fear the Walking Dead more than the original Walking Dead, which is, can I say it's strange to me? Well, not really. I mean, the original Walking Dead series changed itself so much in Season 9 that by the time Season 10 comes around, it's totally unrecognizable of what it was. Even vehicles and stuff like that, helicopters, things like that. We're probably never going to see that stuff in the original Walking Dead series again. Or at least if we do, it's going to be, I just don't think we're going to see a lot of it, right? It's a new world. It's regrown, and it's horseback and everything else that they're doing. And I just don't know if we're going to see a lot of the kind of stuff we're seeing in Fear in The Walking Dead again, right? So it separates the two up pretty cool, and I like to see it in some ways that, Fear has certain things about it. I also feel like the roster in Fear is not too bad. It's really not that bad when you look at the roster for the original Walking Dead series and how thinned out it is. the roster for Fear doesn't feel that bad. It really doesn't. Not at this point. So yeah, I guess we'll see. And also factor in Rick is gone from the original series and everything, so you got to factor all these things in too. So it's not that bad. I'm looking forward to Fear, and I enjoyed the premiere. Not everybody did, but I did. Carl Barnett says, hey, Trev, Dylan is the real-life brother of Cookie Monster Sam. So thank you for mentioning that, Carl, because I read that, but I forgot. So Dylan is the one boy who's the taller of the two that we saw in the premiere episode. So he is the real-life brother of Sam, the Cookie Monster from Alexandria. There's a fun character for Carol that I miss seeing, right? That was when The Walking Dead was at its prime, right? Like season 5, season 6, the cookies and stuff. So yeah, that's fun, right? For sure. That's cool. I like that. And there's lots of things like Fear that are like that, right? That either people that were involved, in this case, someone being related, stuff for kind of Easter eggs for Rick and maybe a connection there. And then of course the crossover characters for Fear. So they've really done a lot of things to try to kind of bring both series closer together than they used to be in the first few seasons. Jamal Isaac says, hey Trev, isn't Logan the neighbor from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? I guess so. Apparently the actor who plays Logan's been in a lot of stuff, so a lot of people are thinking he'll be a somewhat major villain or something. I'm not sure. I was just thinking like half a season might be it, and then that's all we'll probably see from him. Paul Toomey said, so they're doing the Z Nation Atomic Zombies. Althea had to do dumb stuff to give them an ending. They're not doing The Talking Dead until the mid-season finale. Was the pole impalement a tribute to Rick? Are the kids a part of that spinoff about use? So let's end with that one for today. I think that's good for today's video. So they're doing Z Nation Atomic Zombies, something of the sort maybe. Something like that, which I don't think necessarily is a bad thing, like I've said. Althea doing dumb stuff to give them an ending, well, it's pretty exciting. At least you get something going there with a Rick connection, which is cool. And about Talking Dead, is that true? Can you guys leave a comment below? Because I haven't seen the Talking Dead episode after Nosferatu. I didn't really watch Nosferatu. I've seen the trailers and stuff. I was like, I don't know. Just looks like dark for the sake of being dark. I'm not sure if I'm that down with Nosferatu. It looks okay, I guess. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but it's okay. But yeah, if they're not doing Talking Dead till the mid-season finale, that is surprising to me. Is that true? And if so, that's kind of unfortunate because I think a lot of people like Talking Dead. So that's kind of unfortunate if they're not. But at the same time, you don't know how many people are going to watch Fear. You don't know how many people would tune into Talking Dead. And if it's something where they don't think enough people would, and they'd rather put on Nosferatu or whatever right after, then maybe it's not always worth it for them to do it. But, so that's kind of unfortunate if that's the case. But they're going to be doing 3 Walking Dead series eventually there, so you have to imagine that, they're probably not going to do Talking Dead for absolutely everything they do Walking Dead. Eventually they're going to have to realize that, there's certain things that make sense to do, and there's other things that maybe don't, and maybe Fear the Walking Dead doesn't have enough pull for an audience to have Talking Dead have a new episode every time afterwards. The Walking Dead probably always will, I think, or for the most part. But for Fear, yeah, that makes sense. So I believe you, even though I'm not. This isn't confirmed by any means, but we'll see if that's true. And I kind of hope not. If so, but I believe it makes sense, Paul. Was the pole impairment a tribute to Rick? Maybe it was for Luciana. I mean, it made sense because they crash and stuff, and then she ends up getting smoked like that. So that was it was good, and they kind of used it as a fake out death, like I said in the review. So I like that. I thought that was good because they had me thinking they were going to kill her off, and then they didn't, which was cool. And then are the kids part of the spinoff about use? The third one we don't know anything about right now. Is it that closely connected to Fear? I don't think so. I was hoping they'd do a different country or something, but maybe they're not. And it'll probably be at a different timeline as well, too. I think the whole thing is really AMC wants to kind of base, maybe not their whole channel around, but they want The Walking Dead to be AMC Dead Quarters, to be like the big concentration for the channel, which makes sense. And I'm happy they're doing it versus certain other networks that are not appreciating and producing content for their fans for a certain series. I won't mention any names. A poster I may have just taken down, right? So, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, worst case scenario, if you don't like Fear, if you don't like the 3rd series, you can always just not watch that, and then you can watch the movies and watch the original Walking Dead series and and that's fine. Or vice versa, if you like Fear but you don't like the original Walking Dead anymore, then you could just skip that instead, right? Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below, share, favorite, and bottom left to subscribe for anyone who's new. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.